Now, just today, Trump hosted the Prime Minister of Bahrain. And to no surprise to anyone, mostly, focused on himself while taking questions from reporters. The one thing that the Prime Minister did discuss was $17 billion worth of deals coming into the United States. But he did make it clear that these were real deals, not fake ones. Play the clip.
Thank you, one and all. It is indeed a great honor to be here on this fine morning to put into action the relationship that exists between our two countries. We will be discussing security issues, we'll be discussing trade and investment, which is very important. We're very happy to be announcing $17 billion worth of deals that are coming to the United States, and this is real. This isn't.
It's real money.
These aren't fake deals. These are real deals.
They don't have to borrow the money.
We don't have to borrow it. It's coming in, and
Wow, Prime Minister Al Khalifa, your English is so good, right? I was just waiting for Trump. Weren't we all? We were just waiting for Trump to turn around and say, "How is your English so good?" I think I went to college with the guy. Meanwhile, Trump was also asked about Jerome Powell and if he planned to fire him. Now, Trump said, no, he does not. But he did have a lapse in memory when he blamed President Biden for appointing Jerome Powell, because in fact, it was Trump who appointed him. Play the clip.
He's a terrible Fed chair. I was surprised he was appointed. I was surprised, frankly, that Biden put him in and extended him.
No, once again, he was appointed by you. I mean, you see, it's mistakes like this that we just have to call out, all right? Because everything is not Biden's fault. There are things going on within this administration, within Trump's administration, that need overhaul. But they refuse to acknowledge that there's anything wrong. We all, of course, know opposite. So another reporter then asked Trump if he's going to investigate Jerome Powell. The reason the investigation? That's going to be the basis for removing him before his term expires. Play the clip.
This morning.
Quiet.
Go ahead.
You mentioned fraud in an earlier answer. Are you saying you want to investigate the Fed chair for fraud related to this renovation?
Well, I think he's already under investigation. He spent far more money than he was supposed to on rebuilding. I didn't see him as being the kind of guy that would want to have parks, rooftop parks and everything else on top of buildings. But who wants to spend that money for the Fed? The Fed is supposed to sit there and say where interest rates are going and a couple of other very easy things to do. And he spent $2.5 billion. I think he's got some problems.
Thank you, sir. You also.
I'll tell you what I liked the most about that. When somebody was yelling out question, he's yelling to them, quiet. I believe that was probably CNN, right? Meanwhile, conversation, of course, no doubt, was going to turn to Jeffrey Epstein. And a reporter then goes on and asks Trump if he's going to disown his supporters that want the files to be released. Play the clip.
This morning, you mentioned past supporters when you were talking about the Epstein issue. Does that mean that you're effectively disowning any supporters who are now calling?
I lost a lot of faith in certain people. Yeah, I lost because they got duped by the Democrats. The Democrats are good for nothing. They've done a terrible job. They almost destroyed our country.
Yeah, again, it's the messaging that's just so wrong. Because it's actually MAGA. It's guys like Steve Bannon. It's guys like Charlie Kirk. It's guys like Tucker Carlson and so many others that are right now keeping this thing front and center. And if you read my Substack, you will understand exactly why. Because they are trying to take over MAGA. They believe that they created the movement. Steve Bannon legitimately believes that he is the architect, the script writer for the creation of MAGA, and they're not looking to save MAGA. They're looking to take it over for their own self. They believe Trump is a wounded beast, and they are the vultures that are going to swoop in and take it. Got to read my Substack. It explains it all. Meanwhile, Trump tried to claim that Epstein, and this makes no sense. Makes no sense. He's trying to claim that Epstein is all a hoax and that it's the Democrats' fault. Now, I want to remind you, because again, you know the expression, numbers don't lie, people do? Epstein died in 2019. And 2019 was during Trump's first term. Play the clip.
Mr. President, I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your Attorney General told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen of that?
No, it's not the Attorney General. No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steele dossier that turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the intelligence, so-called intelligence agents, it was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. And some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net. And so they try and do the Democrats' work. The Democrats are good for nothing other than these hoaxes. They're bad for policy. They're bad for picking candidates that can get elected. Like in New York, we have a communist running. He may get elected too, actually, but he'll destroy the city.
Again, let's just stay focused, Mr. President. All right. Jeffrey Epstein died in 2019. So where's this hoax from Democrats? And the problem is it gives people like Steve Bannon, like Tucker Carlson, more fodder within which to come after you. Now, Trump also ranted about how people are focusing on the hoax rather than his accomplishments. Play the clip.
No, it's I call it the Epstein hoax. It takes a lot of time and effort. Instead of talking about the great achievements, we've had a great gentleman yesterday, as you know, went on CNBC and he made the statement that Trump may go down as the greatest president of all in the United States. And instead of talking about the things we've achieved, we've had tremendous achievement. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've ever had, and all of the things we've done, including the Middle East. I mean, you see it. Instead, they want to talk about the Epstein hoax. And the sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people. Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. President, lots of reports.
You know, the easiest thing to do is seriously just release the information and call it quits. Just say, I told you. I told you there was nothing there. Nothing on me. If there's something on somebody else, well, that's on them. Nothing on me. Then Trump, of course, brings up Biden using the auto pen. And by the way, to those of you who have listened to me in the past, you know that I have a real problem with Biden and that auto pen. I have a problem with the people that were surrounding him, especially towards the end of his presidency. But Trump goes on and he said that was the scandal. This is the scandal that the press should be talking about, and not about Jeffrey Epstein, not about the years and years worth of commentary coming out of the far-right MAGA about exposing the Democratic cabal of child sex trafficking and so on. Also, wait a second, because I thought that you wanted the press to be talking about your accomplishments. Just tell us which one you want. I'll start talking about it. Play the clip.
He doesn't have a policy. Some lunatic around the desk had a policy. Whoever operated the auto pen had a policy, which is, by the way, I think the biggest scandal. That's the scandal they should be talking about, not Jeffrey Epstein. The scandal you should be talking about is the auto pen, because I think it's the biggest scandal, one of them in American history. So the economy is doing really well, and people are seeing it. Yeah.
So he also, during this meeting, turned around and said that we've taken in $100 billion so far in money based on tariffs. You know, there's always two sides to every ledger. So we may have taken in, but how much have we lost by not being able to take in goods? You know, there's more than just a number. Now, I want to be very clear. State-sponsored Fox News, they were there to support Trump. And today, a former Supreme Court of the United States law clerk agreed with Trump that the auto pen is much more serious than the Epstein file. No, this is true. Play the clip.
If you care about the Constitution and the rule of law, Trump is right. The auto pen is way more serious than Jeffrey Epstein, because you could have a series of aides here who seized the power of the presidency and used it for their own purposes. You can't have an aide exercising the constitutional power of pardon or the decision not to prosecute people. And so they could have committed forgery. They could have committed fraud. I expect the Justice Department has already opened an investigation, and they just don't want to say. So they're taking.
I suspect they might have, could have. These are all theoretical. They're all hypotheticals, John Yoo. So while I get you're looking for a job in D.C., you ass-kissing moron for Clarence Thomas, I totally get it. But what you don't seem to understand is, where's the proof? Isn't that what you're supposed to? I mean, you're a fucking lawyer, for God's sakes. Aren't you supposed to work off of proof and facts, not your hypothetical? Well, you know that they could have been doing it. Show us the evidence. If there was evidence on it, I guarantee you, Pam Bondi, Department of Justice, would be all over these folks like on white on rice. All right, let's leave it at that. What you're saying is ridiculous. You're taking bullshit and you're trying to make it into a reality. That just doesn't work. What it does is it shows us that you're not trustworthy. Now, meanwhile, I want to end on a post from Don Cohen laying out the facts of which presidents have actually used the auto pen in the past. Let me show you what he posted here. Presidents have used the auto pen for decades. Goes back to Truman, Democrat; Eisenhower, Republican; Kennedy, Democrat; Reagan, Republican; Bush, Republican; Clinton, Democrat; W. Bush, Republican; Obama, Democrat; and yes, Trump too. So you're talking about an even split. Republicans and Democrats each use the auto pen for certain things. Now, if Trump is right that Joe Biden did not know what was being done, or that the folks that were there in his inner circle used it improperly, absolutely. I'm 100% in agreement with even John Yoo. I'm in agreement with Donald Trump on that. Absolutely. That is unconstitutional. It is illegal. But before we go ahead and we start pointing fingers at anybody, show me the facts. And as always, thanks for listening.